We aren't just trying to keep out the butterflies, the cabbage worm butterflies. We're also trying to keep squirrels out. They really like to dig in the soft soil. They bury their walnuts because we have walnut trees all over. And then they think that they buried them everywhere and they start digging everything up. Another one of the mini projects is I'm replacing this mesh. I put it on temporarily until I cut off a fresh one. This is from last year. It's a little too short. It's got a lot of holes in it. And every time I try to keep this end down, because it's short in the middle and long on the ends, it doesn't want to stay down. So we're gonna work on this today. And yes, my cabbages look a little droopy. It's been chilly the past 2 nights. Couldn't find my covering, my frost cloth. So, you know, fingers crossed, I think they're gonna be okay. Cabbage can handle a lot of that chilly stuff. It wasn't frost, it was just pretty chilly. 30, I think it was. It was in the low 30s, like when I first came out here, maybe 30 minutes ago. It's warming up. I got thermals on. Starting to get warm in this thick car. The last thing you want to do is let these get in the grass and then hit them with a mower. So I'm very careful with that. I try to keep track of them and at least check the perimeters of the garden and the grass and make sure I don't see any before he mows. But they kind of get lost in the mulch and the soil. So you'll see that I've just been poking holes in the mesh to put the stakes through, and it's caused a lot of rips. So I'm going to do something a little different this time. We'll save this if we need it for smaller projects. I don't like throwing too many things away like that, even though it's relatively cheap. This one feels a little lighter. I don't think it's the same brand, or maybe just because that one's so aged. I got so much dirt on it, it feels heavier. Started to tape the edges, but I realized that won't do. Well, I got a better idea. Before I cover this up, I wanted to show you, I made a modification. I've just been like taping something over the top to hold all these in place because I just push these in the ground. I haven't reinforced them. I thought about doing it, but I think I'm okay. But I did drill a hole in the top of a piece of wood. I should have painted this wood, I know. And then I drilled the hole through this PVC, and then I stuck a zip tie down through the holes. I did it on all 3, and it's holding it really stable. Before, these would start to lean in towards each other or all go that way because the wind blows this way usually. So it's holding up amazingly. We had some serious wind the other day and it didn't even budge. All right, back at it. What's going on that side? And to hold this down so it doesn't blow away, I'm gonna put a brick on this corner. Even though it's not really windy, even the lightest breeze will blow this away. Okay, right there. Because my soil is so soft and fluffy, even though the soil's been in here for a couple of years now, I add compost. But the stakes don't really hold a lot down. I usually have to reinforce with wood or bricks to hold that down because the stakes will just pull up in the wind. All right, so what I'm doing on the ends, now mind you, I'm sure there's better ways to do all of this. I'm taking my fabric on the end. Since I've already knotted and pinned down the other side, I can see how much I have. Wow, I really a little overkill. I can pull it a little tighter on the other end too. Make sure I have all of it so there's no holes here, because the center is usually higher than the sides. And so I tie a knot down here Yes, I have that duct tape there, but it will help hold it in place really. Tying my knot to hold it there. And I'm gonna take that and wrap it around above the knot and then push that down in the soil. Now, because our soil is really soft and fluffy, on the ends, I usually have to put like bricks, and then on the sides and the long sides, I have a long piece of wood on each side that helps hold the sides down, even though we use pins. So for just temporarily, I'm gonna put this here because I'll show you another way that I'm gonna help reinforce, even though it's using pins. But we still have a lot of excess fabric here. Okay, so on both sides now, you can see I have a pin, a garden stake, a garden staple on the inside of the knot. So then the knot and the extra fabric are here, and I just have it held down with this brick for right now. There is a little extra, but I want that because when I lift the sides and slide up the pipe, that it won't pull as much. Okay, in an effort to not, sorry about all the shadows, in an effort to not poke holes that are gonna rip in this new one, which is inevitable anyway, I was going to sew blocks of canvas onto it, but then this is such a big piece of fabric, it was hard to keep track of where I was gonna want them. So what I think I'm just gonna do, and it's not the longest lasting thing, but you know, duct tape and zip ties are kind of like my best friend. So I'm going to take chunks of duct tape, and I did this like when I did the chicken coop. Anywhere where I put a screw or a staple, I put a chunk of duct tape to help reinforce. Kind of like, it's kind of like a washer on it a little bit. So anywhere where I intend on putting a stake, I'm going to put the duct tape on one side and then also on the back side like that. So I'm going to put it double width just to make sure. Go like that, up under, like that. And yes, moisture over time will make this kind of separate. It is what it is. I could, and I think it's a great idea, to take a piece of canvas on both sides or some kind of like durable outdoor fabric and sew a square, you know, around the, you know, on the canvas to hold it to the netting, and then use a hole puncher or scissors to make your holes of where these are gonna go. So I'm gonna kind of push in and mark my holes and then fold it and create a little, I don't want to cut my fabric, a notch through it, through all the layers. So I've created holes here and here with my scissors, so now I'm not ripping, and the tape is holding, reinforcing, so there's no rips that are going to run up my fabric. I go like this and then push down into my soil like that, so that'll reinforce it and I won't get any rips. Yeah, we'll see how long it takes before I start getting rips all in this. All right, I'm gonna go around and do all my edges on the two long sides that way. All right, so I got one stake in between each of the PVC pipes. And then I always take and put this down. We aren't just trying to keep out the butterflies, the cabbage worm butterflies. We're also trying to keep squirrels out. They really like to dig in the soft soil. They bury their walnuts because we have walnut trees all over. And then they think that they buried them everywhere and they start digging everything up. Anything can want to get there, all kinds of little critters. So we're just trying to reduce that. So I always keep the wood, plus it helps with the wind. I keep the wood, I push it down, so I have a little bit of the netting here, and then I push down in between the piping and my raised bed. If you're not doing this in a raised bed, you're just doing it in the ground. A lot of people put chunks of wood, logs, bricks along the edge to help hold it down, even instead of doing stakes. So that secured the side, and now I'm going to pull it nice and tight on the other side before I put my duct tape on and my pins. And then I want to put a brick or two along the short end over here. I also found on the other side I didn't want it right on the edge, so I put a piece on this side and then a piece on the other side, sandwiched it, and then did that. I want it roughly here. Mark my holes, do a little push. And oh, and I accidentally did rip a hole already in this garden stake. Oh, I just did it right there too. Great. So this stuff is a lot thinner than the stuff I had from before. That kind of sucks. So yes, I do leave this on literally from the time I put any brassica in the soil, and I put the netting on right away, and then it doesn't come off until the season's over. All the sunlight comes through, rain comes through it. When I want to give a deep watering or fertilizer, I lift up the wood, pull up on that fabric to, with the pins, I just pull the whole thing up and I water on this side, and I can do it on the other side or just reach over and do the whole thing. It is a pain in the butt to work around, but for the past 3 years or so, have been using the mesh over top of my brassicas, and I never have a problem. All of my cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower, everything come out wonderful with no insect damage, maybe some slug damage, that kind of thing. But I do not have any of the cabbage worms on any of my brassicas anymore. So it's worth it, because I think I got 2 10 by 33 foot pieces of this, cut it down because I don't need that much, cut it down way long and use the width, and it's way wide. This is a 4 by 8 bed, and I have a ton left over to use in the future because clearly it's really thin stuff, but I think I got it for like $15 for a whole pack. So it's pretty cheap stuff. And as long as you have like a piece of wood, some garden stakes, duct tape, bricks or anything to help hold it down, you really need to have mesh of some kind over top of your brassicas, unless you don't mind the cabbage worms. I don't have the patience to come out and pick cabbage worms off all the time. So this works for me. All right, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Garden and Grease. Hopefully we will actually work on our water catchment. We're going to start with 1 barrel, I think, and then build up. And I think we're going to also do it off of the chicken coop. So off the house and off the chicken coop. So hopefully we actually do that, and I can get a video out to you guys about that. I don't know how long it will be. I always have grand ideas for projects, and takes me a while to see them through. Clearly, we've had that drum for about 1.5 years or so. But I'm hoping to have it done this spring, so we can catch some of the spring rain and use it in the garden. Rainwater is better for your garden than our city water. There's chlorines and stuff in our city water. So we do all organic when it comes to fertilizing and our soil. So why not go or as organic as we can with our water as well? All right, guys, thank you for watching another episode of Garden and Grease. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share with anybody you know that loves gardening. All right, guys, have a good one.